YouTube, what's up? Today I'm just gonna do sort of just a discussion while I pack this order. Little bit different. This is predominantly a Yu-Gi-Oh channel, but today we had an order for some of my Pokemon cards that I've had since I was a kid. So as you can see here, I've got the one that was sold today. And I just want to say this video is mainly a response / a discussion with a channel on YouTube called Crustle. Guys, go check them out and go subscribe, like all their videos. Very cool guy. But he's a new vendor like myself, and we were just kind of discussing different things in the vending world. So I'm just gonna go over this order and probably pack it while I talk about those things, and also go through some of the older cards that I have that I am selling on my site. All right, so this is the card that sold today. This is a Delta Species Metagross. I can't remember exactly when I got this card. It was sometime when I was a kid. It was long ago, but this is a little bit different of a situation than my typical vending because this is a card that I've had for a very long time. I also don't buy singles or trade singles or resell singles. I get all of my cards out of packs. I like to pull up in packs and boxes and things like that. And I usually do it in bulk. Now that's obviously expensive. And that's what holds most people back, at least in my research that I've done, in my experience, from actually becoming a vendor rather than just an enthusiast, is that once this card is sold, we already know the value of it. You know, if I would have paid, now this card sold here. Let's check I've got the packing receipt. This card sold for $24. But I didn't pay $24 or even near that for this card. I actually didn't pay for it all because I was a child. But it's a little bit of a different situation. But I still don't buy singles for that same fact because I rely more on the probability of the fact that there's something in those cases in the packs. And if you burn through the numbers and if you burn through enough packs, you are guaranteed to get multiple hits. And the value of those hits usually covers the cost of the less valuable cards or the worthless cards. So I've never really relied on buying singles and trading up and trading singles to be able to get more money. I've always gone more of the approach, and recently we've gone the approach of getting a crap ton of packs. Get a lot of cards, open a lot of packs, beat the odds, get the cards that no one else can afford to absolutely just shred through packs to get. And once you do get that, you might pull $100 card, a $50 card, because some of the other cards that I have here listed for Pokemon, not everything is great. I have a Charizard EX here. I randomly just went to the store and got a pack and got this. It's a $10 card. That's great. But sometimes you'll get things like these. So this is a Delta Species Mewtwo that is up for about 90 because I don't feel like charging 100 for it, but there's no other listings right now. If we look at it, it's pretty minty. It's been a binder card my entire life. There's really I don't have the best camera here, but there's no indentations or creases. The edging is a little bit rougher than I would wish it was, but you don't always get a $3 card or a $5 card or a $10 card. Sometimes you get multiple $40 cards in a box, multiple $50 cards in a box. All of these cards are about $15 or more, and I've never paid for singles. And they've all held their value or increased. So recently with Yu-Gi-Oh, you know, we take a different approach. This is more of a childhood collection. So I don't really renew. It's pretty hard to renew your stock on Team Rocket packs and Dark Blastoise. Like if I wanted any more, I would have to get into the reselling game and buying singles because these packs are not coming out anymore, you know. But I've transitioned mostly. My girlfriend and I, what we're doing is buying new product that's in the new games, that's very relevant, very likely to sell. We look at the products, we see good ratios of pull rates to where if we buy a bunch of these boxes, we know that if we open a case or two cases, we're bound to see multiple high value cards that people are going to want and people are going to buy, and we're going to be able to make higher profit margins than just buying those cards after they've already been pulled out of the pack and reselling them at a higher price. That's mostly seems to me kind of like just banking on other unwitting people who don't understand the name of the game, or just it really, and I'm not trying to imply that it's shiesty or anything. It just really, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage because if you're not gonna sell the card to someone who's less informed, then there's really no room to make money because they're going to be looking for just as much of a price cut as you are. And the card's just going to get resold into oblivion. So I prefer to just pull fresh packs, open the packs, get the hits, sleeve them up, put them in a top loader, and sell them. And I really don't like to get into reselling or flipping or anything unless it's for my personal collection and I personally just want that card. And I don't care if it's going to sell, and I don't care about making money on it because I love that card. You know, I'm not buying singles or purchasing singles because you really have to be a guru. You know, you'd really have to be psychic and know the game that you're playing, or know why that card is going to go up in value or why that card is going to sell before you buy it. You know, and once you get into that game, I think it really makes more sense. Don't just buy one. You know, if you're going to buy a single because you think it's valuable, in order to really reliably scale this thing and to source it reliably, you're going to need to buy a lot of you need to buy a stack of those cards. It's not going to really get you into any profitable zone just by buying one of them and then selling one of them for a profit. If I was to think that this Dark Blastoise was going to take a big price hike and this was going to be in very high demand in the future, I would buy 50 of these. I would not just buy one of them and resell it. So that's just my approach, guys. I'm just saying this thing from my perspective. I'm not saying this is the way to do it. We're a new vendor. We've done like 50 sales. We have 100% feedback so far. I've sold other things in life. It's not just cards. I've been in business before. So I'm not trying to act like I'm a guru and I'm a genie at all this, but I'm just telling you guys my approach. Because besides all that, when you don't treat it like a business and you really do just understand that, like, this is a hobby of mine and I enjoy it, you won't hold yourself to such strict standards. And you can just enjoy the cards and not treat it like you're supposed to be some sort of machine that's cranking out profits. You know, if this is just a hobby for you, picking up awesome cards that have really great art that you're really passionate about and you want to trade with friends and collect, then sure, you're probably always going to be in the red because you're always going to be spending money on something you enjoy. That's great. But if you actually want to become profitable and be a business, you need a reliable way to consistently get cards like this and consistently have them for sale. And these are not easy cards to come by. So you need to find a way to reliably get these cards for cheaper than other people get. And without getting distributors and wholesalers and rubbing elbows and meeting people in shady alleys, you're not just going to get the cards you want for cheap, guys, the cards that other people want for cheap. You have to buy sealed product in bulk and pull the cards that other people want because they don't have enough money to get the box, or they're not lucky enough to get that many boxes to open that many packs. You know what I mean? Like, you have to beat the odds. You can't just want what other people want and get it for cheaper. Okay guys, so I didn't do a very good job, so I wanted to cut in and just add this part. One reason that I'm suggesting opening sealed product rather than just flipping sealed product or singles is just I think it's gonna come down to a preference, right? Because I know Pokemon differs from Yu-Gi-Oh, okay? So I know that rip and ships are big with Pokemon, so that's another possibility that we've talked about, or at least that I had mentioned on one of your videos, Crustlemania, was that, you know, it's just pick your battles, man. Like I think, and it appears to me like it would be easier for you to get one of these boxes, one of these elite trainer boxes that is really hard to come by, and leave it sealed. Now, I wouldn't I'm going to recommend the opposite. I'm not just going to recommend that you rip everything open or rip one box open. I only think that it's worth ripping boxes open once you've scaled to the point where you have cases and you know that something that's going to come out of those cases is going to be exponentially worth you opening it rather than flipping that sealed box. Because I think honestly with Pokemon, it seems like to get started best on YouTube and like to get started up with that, it's more in your guys' interest, or I would suggest more up your alley to like get some of these boxes, get your hands on one of these boxes or maybe some boxes that are not so popular that are easy to come by, and flip that for a profit, and then go get another box or another two boxes and flip those for a profit and leave them sealed, and then flip your way up to being able to get a case or get half of a case, and then do rip and ships and open packs and sell the packs before you open them. To, you don't want to take on the liability of opening a sealed product unless you know there's going to be something in there, or if it's affordable for you to do that. Now, how does it become affordable for you to do that, or how do you know there's something in there? Well, that's when you get a massive amount of it so that you know you're going to see every single card in the set. It just comes down to how many of them are you going to see and how many can you sell. It really just turns into a number game. So I wanted to kind of point that out before I go back to the normal video, that I'm not suggesting everybody gets sealed products and just opens it all up and sells singles every single time for every single method. That's not what I'm saying, guys. I'm just saying that in my scenario, that's what we have found to start working for us, to start helping us to not just break even, but to start profiting and making money on top of breaking even, because we're able to start seeing more valuable cards that really increase our margins rather than just finding something we already know the value of and getting pennies on the dollar by reselling it. And that only, the boxes only become cheaper when you buy a lot of them. I would never buy one of these crossover breakers boxes at $95 per box. Since we bought cases, got them at $70 per box. So just a couple of ultra rares, and now we've made our money back, compared to having to have maybe twice that many ultra rares in order to make that money back on our box. And the odds only go up if we find a QCR, quarter century rare, or possibly put deck cores together, or if the supply on boxes becomes so limited that maybe boxes become inflated and we do resell boxes, so it's nuanced. I don't think there's one approach. I think you take multiple approaches to it. Like, we're not going to rip open every box right away. We're going to see how singles are selling, and if singles plummet and boxes are still at a good price, we'll probably try to recover our money on the boxes and just and go with that. But if singles are flying and people cannot keep them on the shelf and they're still going for a good price, we're probably going to sell singles until the freaking cows come home, because that's what's profitable. So gonna go back to the normal video. Just wanted to add that part in there really quick so we don't just gloss over that. You have to have an edge. So that's my approach, guys. So without yapping too much more, I'm just gonna go ahead and pack up this order and show you how we do it. This is a $24 card, this Metagross here, which I probably picked it up 10,000 times on this video, but it really does have awesome art. It is a great card. I think it's pretty minty. I kept it in my binder since I was a little child. And it just has a little bit of edge scoring right here. You can see The edge has just a little bit of whitening on it. But other than that, guys, this card is pretty fresh. No indentations, no creases. That little indent is on the sleeve itself, not on the card. You can check it here. I know Pokemon players are like very like serious about this compared to Yu-Gi-Oh players, but no indentations, no creasing, no grime build up on the card. We got it in a top loader here, also in a sleeve. So then what I typically like to do, so without using really any tape at all, just the absolute bare minimum, what I like to do is grab a team bag. I'll get my card inside the team bag. And we also have these little slips that we insert, and I'll put a handwritten thank you note on there. So we've got Mr. Austin today. That just helps it feel a little bit more personal because we do everything so machine-like. I feel like it's so robotic that I still want them to feel like it's personal. So we've got the card inside, we've got the slip with the thank you note. We've got the absolutely minty card inside this sleeve. That card looks sick. Go ahead and peel the team bag. And then I like to secure the card to the paper, to the packing slip. Some people say you don't like to do packing slips. People don't like packing slips. I always like it because I want to know who to call if they get it wrong. And I want proof that it's literally printed in paper right in front of my face in black and white, right there, what I bought and what you were supposed to send me. And if you didn't do that, then I can prove it and I can complain about it. So I give other people that option. So I use the minimum amount of tape that I possibly can to just get the card on the page. And then we fold. That's the reason that I like to include the packing slip, guys, is that it gives just another layer of protection, of something to surround the card and the top loader and the penny sleeve and the team bag that we've wrapped the card up in. And it just looks nice to me because you open it up here, you got your order sitting right there by the receipt, you got what you want. And now with these, you know, guys, I haven't tried this method before, so I don't like it as much. So this might be a cardinal sin for me. I might fold this over one more time if this doesn't fit in here. But now it looks like it's gonna fit inside our bubble mailer. So I'm just going to go ahead and put the packing slip and the card all the way in there. Boom. It did just fit just perfectly. So that is nice and secure. All right, guys, I figured it out. I haven't used the full page packing slip before inside the bubble mailers. Usually I just thermal print a label, and so it's much smaller. It's more like the size of these envelopes right here, so it just fits in there much more comfortably. But that fit in there perfectly fine. I've got a card sleeve here covering up the information on the shipping label, but as you can see, I've got this double taped. So I put a line of Scotch tape on the flap of the bubble mailer itself, and then I put the shipping label over that flap so that the tape and the shipping label like triple seal. So now we've got the self-sealing flap, we've got the tape, and we've got the shipping label, all making sure that that flap stays closed while it's being mailed so that nothing gets lost or stolen or damaged in the process. We have this stamp here that says do not bend on some of them. If it's worth it, we'll stamp that on there. These ones have it printed on there to handle with care. So typically these get hand sorted anyways. I think it's a little bit redundant to stamp these, but if you ever have an envelope that you don't want bent, make sure you use a stamp on there. I don't hear many people having problems with those though. We have not had problems with the few orders that we've done in envelopes so far. But this is our method with bubble mailers. Let me know what you guys think about, first of all, about the cards, but second, about the shipping process, and what you thought about that meta gross that just sold. I'm hoping I can sell this melodic or Nine Tails. I think these ones go for a lot. Gengar is a pretty good card too. And one thing that's really a bummer was this Zapdos, guys. This is a fossil set Zapdos, but as you can see, it just has like the slightest creases. And I never played Pokemon, so I don't know what these creases are from. Maybe just from grabbing it and holding it so much, so tightly in my little child hands. But there's little creases in it. And I just really wanted to list it as near mint so bad, but I couldn't because it looks like crap. So, and it's not first edition anyway. It's fossil series, but it's unlimited, so not a crazy card, but still very cool for people who like base set cards. Old Delta series, red, fire red, leaf green, ruby, sapphire era cards. I definitely have plenty of those. And this Mewtwo card, if anybody is interested, please buy it, because I just really could use that big 90 piece, baby. Because I don't play Pokemon. I don't collect Pokemon, guys. I used to be super into it. I like the video games more, but I would rather see this go to somebody who really appreciates it besides the money. The 90 bucks would be nice for a card, but seeing somebody with a complete collection, or like having this card have a purpose rather than just me just having it, would be better for me. So with that being said, Crustle man, Crustle mania, peace out, dude. Thank you for watching. It's great to meet you. Good luck to you on your channel. But everybody else, hit that like button, hit the subscribe, and we will see you later.